Alright, so CNN, as long as you're going to be around, please don't stop publishing articles like this. This is great. If I was in your boardroom and I said, hey, let's devise a plan to make our network look as silly and as insane as possible, this is precisely the type of article I would recommend we put out. Even though, before I really get to the rest of this, I do want to say, whenever I make these videos and there's going to be a moment in a video where I change screens, I usually get it up beforehand. And I did that. I usually get those tabs up while I'm thinking about what I might say, and I'll, open a few tabs, like I said. And so I did that about 20 minutes after originally opening this article, and I noticed that they changed the headline to this. So that happened in the past 30 minutes or so, and it's about 2 p.m. right now. So they changed it from trying to compare Joe Rogan to January 6th to why shrugging off Joe Rogan's use of the N-word is so dangerous. But I'm going to keep this one up because it's very revealing as to what the thought process is around CNN, both the authors that write nonsense like this and the people who give it a green light and publish it. Joe Rogan saying the N-word in the 30-second smashed-together out-of-context video is another January 6th moment in the minds of people over at CNN. And not just in a we can learn something from it kind of way, but this article goes through historical atrocities and real physically violent and murderous tribalism that has happened in the U.S. and throughout the world, and tries to link it to Joe Rogan and that 30-second clip. So this is as insane of an article as you are thinking it is. Because I remember just last month when January 6th was pinned as this generation's 9/11, and it was akin to Pearl Harbor. Now, normal, rational, sober people immediately scratched their heads and went, wait, I'm no historian, but I don't think during Pearl Harbor or 9/11 there were any senior citizens walking around taking selfies, and weren't there a massive number of deaths and bodies strewn about? Wasn't it more or less a scene from a hellish nightmare, an example of the worst that humanity has to offer? January 6th was a group of weirdos for sure, but isn't it a slight difference from those other events? And the talking heads at CNN assure you, no, January 6th was as bad as all those things. Trust us, we are not crazy. Well, if you bought that line and didn't think they were crazy, let this article correct that mistake for you. They really are nuts. They are lost. Because if January 6th was comparable to 9/11 Pearl Harbor, as they said just a month ago, then wouldn't it stand to reason that comparing Joe Rogan to January 6th means that you're comparing that 30-second clip to Pearl Harbor and 9/11? I think it would. And talk about an absolute insult to the lives lost at Pearl Harbor, 9/11. And this article even talks about how this Joe Rogan stuff could lead to something like the genocide in Rwanda, because we're desensitized to racism and we dehumanize others. First off, nonsense. That's just insane, nothing more. But secondly, as I just said, what a horrifying insult to those people who lost their lives in Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and Rwanda. This entire thing would be like if I'm just visiting a cancer ward, maybe I'm visiting someone there, and while I'm there I take a sip of water and it goes down the wrong tube, so I start coughing, and I sincerely tell all the people with stage 3 or 4 lung cancer that we're suffering in the same kind of way and we're in the same boat here. That would be a disgustingly insulting thing to say to those people. So for this guy to say that this Joe Rogan clip is akin to events that involve mass death and the brutal taking of human life is absurd and obscene. And this article also goes on to bring up Theodore Bilbo, who was a senator from Mississippi in the 40s, who said horrible things, especially while running for re-election, including telling white Americans to do whatever they can to prevent those N-words from voting, blah, 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 blah. So just a degenerate, subhuman piece of trash this guy was. That's all he was. So this CNN article tries to make the connection to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, in some sense, is legitimizing rhetoric like this. No, he isn't. Not in any sober sense is he doing anything remotely like that, nor has he ever done that. Please show me any instance in which Joe Rogan said, based off ethnicity, different rights should apply to different people, based off their skin color. Please show me where he even implied something like that. I will wait. And again, with CNN trying to draw comparisons like this is another extremely insulting thing to black people who were alive in the 40s and 50s who really did suffer from outright vitriolic and very often violent racism. I can't even imagine the horrible opposition they faced, and for CNN to put garbage like this out is spitting directly in their face. But again, because I want to see CNN go the way of the dinosaur, I fully support them continuing down this path of putting out insane drivel like this. Keep it coming. You'll only go down the tubes faster. In fact, that's the only reason why I'm upset that they changed this title to this title. It doesn't quite showcase just how dumb they are. But anyway, that's all for now. Like, subscribe, share the video. It's extremely appreciated, and you take it easy.